Hallelujah, amigos. You know what time it is. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. So get ready for liftoff, baby. Come on. We've got a lot of exciting places to go to today on our English adventure.
Liftoff.
Buckle up.
Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Here we go. Come on. Come on. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Oh, yeah. On radio. Come on. It's the show with Get pumped, amigos. Come on, let's go. You better be pumped up, motivado. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm stoked. I'm psyched. Say it however you want. Pumped. Vamos a repasarlos. I'm pumped. Como pump, bomba, bombear. I'm pumped. I'm stoked. S-T-O-K-E-D. I'm stoked. And one that's totally American and also totally native is I'm psyched. But careful with how you write that one. It's not S-I-K-E-D like it sounds. Psyched. That's the way it sounds. It's P-S-Y-C-H-E-D. I'm psyched. I'm stoked. I'm ready and willing, and I hope you guys are as well. We've got an amazing show up ahead. We're going to learn English from celebrities. We're going to practice and put ourselves to the test in challenges such as the spelling bee. Also, homophones. We'll learn from pop culture in Name That Movie and Name That Lyric. Also, we'll play with words with many meanings in a section we call Double Trouble. And don't worry, folks. Today, it's an honest-to-God double trouble. It's not a triple trouble or a double trouble. It's a double trouble. And I think it's going to be pretty easy. Well, however you slice it or dice it, pongas como lo pongas, we've got an amazing show for you today. And I'm so glad you decided to join us here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to tune in to all our other amazing shows as well. If you download the free app, then you can participate on the go. And we're going to kick off with a little reminder, recordatorio, of this week's question of the week. Question of the week. ¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. That's right. If you want to find out about any of our courses, whether it's our summer camps or whether it's our one-to-one flex, masters, whatever, group, Vaughan groups, it's all over at grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. All right, this week's question of the week is an awesome one. I think this is a fun one. It's lighthearted, as I said yesterday. No, it's, sometimes I'm like, what is your biggest fear? You know, and that one, you got to do some soul searching and you really have to expose yourself. Here, it's a fun one. What do you daydream about? Right? And to daydream is to dream while you are awake. Exactly the way it sounds. Don't you say soñar despierto? So the perfect example is when you're in class or you're, in just some kind of routine situation and your mind starts to wander. Okay? It starts to wonder, preguntarse, and it starts to wander, deambular. Vamos a aclarar esos. So your mind starts to wonder. I wonder what would happen if I were on the beach right now. Wonder. ¿Sabéis pronunciar 1, 2, 3, no? Wonder. Wonder. Like Stevie Wonder. Effectively wonder. And the other one's wander. Juan. It's like saying Juan without the h. Wander. Wander. So let's see if you can say this sentence with me. I wonder if he likes to wander. Say it. I wonder, que eso es fácil. Uno. I wonder if he likes to wander. So let your mind do both. Let your mind wonder and wander. But tell us what you daydream about when your mind starts to wander and wonder. All you have to do is send us a 1-minute voice message. You can send it to alonso@grupovon.com. And to those of you who've already participated, thank you. Great job, by the way. So looking forward to hearing from the rest of you. Tell us what you daydream about and send it to me at alonso@grupovon.com. And please send it to me before this coming Thursday evening. Also, did anybody go to the trivia night last night? I couldn't go. I had some business to tend to. Plus, my wife is under the weather. Mi mujer está malita. Did anybody go? Was it fun? I wanted to go. All right. Well, hopefully I'll be able to make it to our next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, but I'm not sure when it is or who's hosting. But stay tuned, folks, and we'll keep you posted. All right, let's do a little pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos, welcome to your pop quiz section here on the show with no name. And today we're going to be taking a look at something from La pieza clave del método Vaughan. Hey, those aren't my words. That's what it says on the cover. Does anybody know what material I'm referring to right now? It is the key piece, right? The cornerstone. Piedra angular, I think you say. We say de rincón, de esquina, makes sense. Well, it's la pieza clave del método Vaughan. Folks, it's our translation booklet. Now, when I first started working for Vaughn, there were different booklets. And they were booklets. Booklets son como libros, pero, panfleto libros, these kind. And now, thanks to modern technology and printing and the fact that you can download the audio, you've got the whole translation list, every single one that Richard Vaughn has ever come up with. Okay? This used to be a series of books. Now it's in one book that fits in your pocket, and it'll go through every structure that you'll need in the language. And the greatest thing about it is it's for beginners, intermediate, and advanced levels. And where do I recommend you start? Well, if you're a beginner, obviously, start it at the beginning. List one, example one. And if you are a pro, or you consider yourself a pro, where do I suggest you start? Also from square one, desde el principio. Sure, if you're a pro, you shouldn't have any difficulty at all. And how do we do a translation list? All right, I'll give you an example. I came to class one day. I'll never forget this. And I pulled out the translation list that I gave the students. The one, I don't remember. Maybe we were looking at remind and remember, for example. Let's just say that, or maybe it was translation list 7. That's not important. And I pulled out the translation list and I said, okay, guys, let's review translation list, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the student said, oh, but we already did this. We know this. I'm like, wait, well, you just said 2 different things there. I said, you said we did this, which is true. We started looking at it last week, the last time we met in class. But do you know it really? Okay, let's go. And I was like, está en la mesa. Te voy a dar otros ejemplos porque this was a high-level student. But so I started going down the list and I was like, está en la mesa. And the student says, it's in the, no, on, it's, I'm like, you just told me you know the list. I go, that's not knowing the list. That is not knowing the list by any means. Knowing the list is this. Y me lo voy a inventar. So bear with me. Paciencia conmigo aquí. But here we go. Está en la mesa. It's on the table. ¿Dónde está? Where is it? ¿Ves como ni dudo? I just, there's not even a breath there. Okay? ¿De quién es? Whose is it? No me malinterpretes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should translate, but that's how quick you should be able to move. So when you do a translation list, it's not just, it is on the table. Primero, that's wrong. No native speaker would say it is. It is. It is nothing. It's or it is, but more commonly, it's on the table. Where is it? Right? So that's what I mean about even a basic list that you're like, yo sé esta estructura, where is it? Si lo has dicho así, well, I've just got one sound effect for you. It's not who is it, where is it? It's who is it? Where is it? Right? So this is the kind of stuff that I think, separates the really good students, regardless of your level. Me da igual tu nivel. I'm talking about the students who really, really try and sound like us. And if you want to get thrown off, si quieres estar desconcertado, just concentrate on the way it's spelt. Yeah, well, because in English, the way it's spelt is never the way it's pronounced. In fact, when you see age, la terminación age, in your mind, you should see age, como la terminación de puente. So let's say this together. I speak a different language. There's a bridge in my village. Language, right? This is a very common mistake because a lot of people are seeing in their head age, but that's just the way it's spelt. And that's one of the confusing things about English. But once we can get over that hurdle, a hurdle is, ¿cómo se dice hurdle? Obstáculo. Once we get over that hurdle, it makes it a lot easier because you're not thinking tres palabras, who is it? You're thinking, who is it? So no estás pensando en las palabras, sino los sonidos que hacen falta para crear esa estructura. Have you ever been to? No es have you ever been. Have you ever been to? It should just flow off your tongue. So, folks, it is an amazing material. It's called the translation booklet. It has from book 1 to book 8. So that is 8 translation books. It's got over, are you ready for this? It's got over 6,000 sentences for 20 euros and 95 cents. It's available at the Von Tienda, vontienda.com. Also, remember, if what you're looking for is courses, go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. And I highly recommend this because this has, from start to finish, this is Richard Vaughan, straight from Richard Vaughan's mind. And as with everything in our Von Tienda, it comes with audio. And speaking of audio, we're going to listen to some audio from the translation booklet. I went for list 7 over here. Well, book 7. I don't remember what list. So this is going to be pretty high level, Maribel, but I know you guys can hack it. Sé que podéis aguantarlo. Here it is, and then afterwards I'll have a challenge for you.
Translation List 12.
Ya tenemos un pedido de China.
We already have an order from China.
Tenemos que enviar 1 millón de frascos para dentro de un mes.
We have to ship 1 million bottles within a month.
¿Los tenéis en stock?
Do you have them in stock?
No los hemos empezado a fabricar aún.
We haven't started producing them yet.
¿Estáis locos? ¿Cómo vais a fabricarlos?
You're crazy. How are you going to produce them?
Por eso te he llamado.
That's why I called you.
¿Qué tengo yo que ver con esto?
What do I have to do with this?
Pensé que a lo mejor querrías ayudarnos.
I thought you might want to help us.
¿Ayudaros a hacer qué?
Help you do what?
A financiar la producción.
To finance the production.
¿Desde cuándo soy yo un banco?
Since when am I a bank?
Pero tienes mucho dinero.
But you have a lot of money.
Pero no para tus ideas locas.
But not for your crazy ideas.
¿Sabes cuántos chinos son calvos?
Do you know how many Chinese people are bald?
340 millones de chinos querrán nuestro producto.
340 million Chinese people will want our product.
Multiplica eso por $3 por frasco.
Multiply that by $3 a bottle.
¿Cuánto dinero crees que necesitaréis?
How much money do you think you'll need?
80.000 pavos.
80,000 bucks, or 80,000 quid.
Bueno, veré lo que puedo hacer.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Pero estás forrado.
But you're filthy rich.
Puedes conseguir el dinero en 1 hora.
You can get the money in an hour.
Oye, el dinero no crece en los árboles.
Hey, money doesn't grow on trees.
Tengo que consultarlo con mi asesor fiscal.
I have to consult my tax advisor.
¿Qué tiene él que ver con esto?
What does he have to do with this?
No puedo darte 80.000 pavos así por las buenas.
I can't give you 80,000 bucks just like that. Or, I can't give you 80,000 quid just like that.
Translation List 13.
¿Cómo te sientes siendo millonario?
How does it feel to be a millionaire?
Igual que siempre.
I feel the same as always.
Creí que tendría más tiempo libre.
I thought I'd have more free time.
¿Te das cuenta ahora?
Now do you realize?
Los ricos tienen problemas también.
Rich people have problems too.
Pero es mejor que ser pobre.
But it's better than being poor.
Tal vez, pero no estoy tan seguro.
Maybe so, but I'm not so sure.
Has tenido mucho éxito.
You've been very successful.
Ahora que eres rico y famoso, ¿qué vas a hacer con tu vida?
Now that you're rich and famous, what are you going to do with your life?
Voy a realizar todos mis sueños.
I'm going to fulfill all my dreams.
No pierdas tu sentido de la orientación.
Don't lose your sense of direction.
El pavimento está resbaladizo.
The floor is slippery.
Te puedes resbalar fácilmente.
You can slip easily.
Besaos y haced las paces.
Kiss and make up.
Ella lleva mucho maquillaje.
She wears a lot of makeup.
¿Cómo puedo compensar lo que hice?
How can I make up for what I did?
Esta es una clase de recuperación.
This is a makeup class.
Él inventó una historia.
He made up a story.
Decídete.
Make up your mind.
El comité está compuesto por 3 personas.
The committee is made up of 3 people.
Tengo que recuperar el tiempo perdido.
I have to make up for lost time.
¿Cómo te lo puedo compensar?
How can I make it up to you?
Confeccionemos una lista de temas.
Let's make up a list of subjects.
Estoy completamente desmoralizado.
I'm completely demoralized.
¿Qué ocurre?
What's the matter?
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. More information about Weekend Town, Vaughan Town, urban camps, summer camps, and all that jazz. You got it all over at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. And again, you've got the audio we heard over at our translation booklets for pennies, peanuts. You can get so many translations with audio, and you can really master the language. And the audio is so important because, as I just said, it's not enough to just read it. You got to say it the way it's supposed to be said. And we all know nobody says going to. You can say, I'm going to go, but it's more common to say, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. So just so you know, one thing is what's written on the page and another thing is what we say. I know in Spanish, what's written is what's said. And that's all well and good. But hey, everything has got its pros and cons in life. And Spanish has a lot of really complicated grammar. The grammar in English is quite simple. All right, let's see what you guys got. I see so many people checking in. Good morning, David, Cristina, Elena. We'll check in with you in just a moment. Let me give you the pop quiz first to get you guys thinking, to get the wheels turning. El engranaje, right? To get the wheels turning up there. And the first one I want you to give me, and this is, I'm going to let you be creative here, and I know you guys will take it and run with it. Lo haráis genial. The first one, give me another way to say that somebody is very rich. Now, you can say the one you heard in the audio, or you can give us another way. You can show off here. So the first one in our pop quiz, the first challenge is use the word very rich, well, a synonym for very rich, in a sentence, in context. The second one, I want you to use both in British and in, so the second one is 2 sentences. I want you to tell me how to say pavos, not turkeys, no ese pavos, dinero, in British English and in American English, all right? So that one will be 2 sentences. Give me 2 different examples. This way, you practice using it. And the last one, I want you to tell me how to say haz las paces, or as they said, que es una frase hecha, besar o besad, besaos, y haz las paces. All right, amigos, that's your pop quiz, and we'll take a look at that after this quick commercial break. We've got a lot of stuff to cover in today's show, so we'll be right back with so much more with our Say What soundbite, our spelling bee. We'll also check your answers to today's pop quiz. And, as Elena says, we'll do our roll call. Presente. All right, folks, we'll be right back. So, stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you with us here on another exciting edition of the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Welcome back. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Show with no name, where English is exciting and interactive at the same time. And you can interact with Ximena and Nacho as well right after today's show in Test Your English, followed by the Lunchtime Show with Rob and Andy. But don't forget about Speak Up with Ruby. It's a great way to have a cup of tea after your lunch. And then you can get random with Jules Linares and her soothing voice. Su voz, I think you say relajante, confortante. The word is soothing in English. After that, you've got Dave Boys in the salad, then Kyle Miller in Drive Time. Chrisley speaking. Chris Frank in Frankly Speaking. Richard Vaughn Live. The Probo Show with Richard Vaughn. Oh, my God. Well, sometimes he's a guest. Oh, and Jessica is back on the weekend. So many amazing reasons to listen to Vaughn Radio. And also remember, if you're learning with us, if you're laughing with us, and I know many of you are learning, and I think that's awesome. That's, how would we say here? Magic. It's totally magic. Well, it's not magic. It's hard work. It's effort. And keep it up, folks. Wonderful. You're not just improving your listening here on Vaughn Radio. You're improving so many different skills, especially if you're repeating the vocabulary and the idiomatic expressions aloud. All right, well, folks, it's time for the first challenge of the second part. It's your Say What soundbite. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, come on now. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. Come on now, say what soundbite on the show with no name. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. All right, amigos, we are ready. I hope you're ready. I imagine you're ready. You've already had 26 minutes to warm up in the first part of the show. So let's listen to our Say What soundbite for the first time. As you know, you will hear this 4 times. You'll have 4 chances to jot it all down. And at first, I just want your take. Vuestra opinión. Here it is for the first time.
I didn't make a big deal out of it. I never forget, because I'm a big wuss when it comes down to going to the doctor or anything that has to do with knives. So I was just laying there, and the guy's cutting it, and his assistant goes, well, my wife likes it. Maybe you shouldn't remove it. And it was halfway off. I'm like, stop!
All right. Whoa. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Don't blame me. I'm just trying to help you understand all kinds of different paces, accents, dialects, you know? This way, when you're out there in the real world, everything seems a bit easier. All right, well, let me give it to you for a second time, and then we can discuss it.
I didn't make a big deal out of it. I never forget, because I'm a big wuss when it comes down to going to the doctor or anything that has to do with knives. So I was just laying there, and the guy's cutting it, and his assistant goes, well, my wife likes it. Maybe you shouldn't remove it. And it was halfway off. I'm like, stop!
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. Stop by vaughantienda.com for all kinds of different materials, including your translation booklet, which is where we got our pop quiz today. Let's take a look at our pop quiz and check in with our students who are with us in the live chat. We've got David in the house. Good morning to you, David. Front row center, buddy. He says, good morning, Alberto and mates. Good morning to you, sir. Pleasure to have you with us. Chris Valrol, there she is. She says, morning, dear people. My mind is still wandering and wondering. Your questions are always soul searching for me. Thanks to them, I'm doing a great inner job, or mejor, I'm doing great inner work. Excellent, Chris. And I love that. Totally native. To do some soul searching. Buscar en tu profundidad. right? Because I always say, you can look outwards for the answer, and maybe, if you've got good friends and family, they can help you. But really, the answer lies inside you. Only you really know. I had this with a student the other day. I won't mention any names. And she said, well, only one person is telling me to do it. Everybody's telling me not to do it, but I feel it in my heart. And I said, that's all you have to say. That's all. Who are you living for? For yourself. I'm not saying be selfish, but you don't want to have any regrets down the road. And then I taught her the word to haunt you. It will come back to haunt you. Te perseguirá. Usually what comes back to haunt you is not what you've done, unless you're some kind of weird pervert or something. These politicians. But it's usually what you haven't done that will haunt you, right? Nosotros decimos encantar, como un fantasma que vuelve. Why didn't you do that? Regret. So, Chris, that's wonderful. So not only are you improving your English, but you're doing some soul searching, and you are an example of someone who's making so much progress in your speaking. You seem, and you exude confidence when you speak English, and that is the greatest thing I could wish on any of my students, Chris. So keep up the magic. Speaking of magic, there's Elena. Elena's in the house. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Elena. She says, good morning, teacher and mates. I'm late, but ready and willing. Did you call the roll? I'm doing it right now. And ready and willing. Lista y dispuesta. Those two words go together like salt and pepper. Like rama lama 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 ding a ding a dang. We go together like ramen. Okay, all right. I'll stop. Elena's also participating in our pop quiz. Let's see how she did. She wasn't kidding, folks. No estaba bromeando. She is ready and willing. She says, the man's so rich, he's rolling in it. Nice one. Yeah, it meaning dough. Pasta, dinero. He's rolling in it. Que puede dar vueltas en ello, ¿no? Regodear. How do you say roll? I always forget that word. To roll. I know it. Rodar. Rodando en el dinero. He's rolling in it. Not the same as to be rolling in the hay. You say the same too, ¿no? De echarte en la paja, en el heno. A roll in the hay, un polvo. Hey, guys, you should know this vocabulary. Well, adults. If you listen to the FYI episode on sex. Oh, and this week, you know what we're looking at? Donald Trump. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Like it or not, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that, because the things he says, you're like, what? What did he say? Oh, no. I remember, I would wake up. This is when I lived near Plaza de Castilla. And he was running for president. I don't remember what year it was, but every morning I would wake up and I was almost addicted. I would run to my phone and see what he was tweeting next. So he's definitely one of these polarizing characters. Lots of different topics on FYI. And if you haven't heard a topic that you'd like to hear about, let me know. You can contact me. I'm very easy to find on social media. All right. So let's see. Excellent job. Elena says, number 2, he's got big bucks. He's got quid front row center. Just ask and you shall receive. So bucks. Yeah. In the US, we say, can I borrow $20? ¿Me prestas 20 pavos? And in England, they say, can I borrow 20 quid? Quid. Now, did you just notice something there? I'll say it again. Can I borrow $20? Yo diría, can I borrow 20 quid? No he dicho quids, porque no lleva ese. So that's another reason I want you guys to use stuff so we can highlight these little differences. En un mundo lógico, sería quids y bucks, pero no. 20 quid, 50 bucks. All right? So excellent job, Elena. There's Daniela. Daniela says he's loaded. He can afford everything he wants. Wow. Oh, you're a loaded gun. Reminds me of the Bon Jovi song. You know it? Oh, you're a loaded gun. There's nowhere to run. No one can save you. The damage. Shot through the heart. Es que tenía que llegar al estribillo. Or else I wouldn't know what song it was. You know, you just know the lyrics, but you're like, ¿qué canción es esa? So excellent one. He's loaded, cargado, como una pistola. He can afford everything he wants. Excellent. The next one, I borrowed 50 bucks from him and he lent me 50 quids sin la S. Pero acabamos de verlo. And then Daniela says, then we kissed and made up. Muy bien. Wonderful. And that one we even say sarcastically. So like, you know, two people who wouldn't really kiss, algo que no dirías a una pareja, but you can say it to like, you know, two guys who are fighting a boss. Guys, kiss and make up. No es literalmente beso. Es como deja de hacer el capullo y, you know, bury the hatchet. ¿Te suena? Excellent job, Daniela. Let's see. Elena says, guys, why don't you kiss and make up? Come on. No hurt feelings. Well, I don't know if that, I've never heard it that way. But we would say, Elena, maybe in England they say no hurt feelings. We say no hard feelings, ¿no? Que no lo tomemos mal. Nadie lo tome mal. No hard feelings. All right? Wonderful job. There's Laura. Hey, Laura, I was just thinking about you when I played the magic jingle. Long time no see. Great to see and read your name. She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. I'm thrilled to be back with all of you after a 1-month hiatus. Un descanso. She says, now I have to make up for lost time little by little. And I see what you did there. Make up. Hacer las paces, to make up. That word has a lot of meanings, and we're going to look at other ones in just a moment. Welcome back, Laura, to make up for lost time. It's great to see you. And as I can see in the comments, it's not just me who's happy to see you. And Laura is back with a vengeance. She's ready to participate in the pop quiz, too. She says, I wish I were filthy rich. Ojalá fuera riquísima. Excellent. Filthy rich, loaded. Then she says, I asked him to lend me $5 and he gave me 10 quid. Excellent. You got the nuance too. Quid sin ese, bucks con ese. And the last one, they'll have to kiss and make up and forget about what happened. Great, Laura. Welcome back. Because it's water under the bridge, right? Me recuerda tu frase, Laura. Es agua pasada. It's water under the bridge, guys. Kiss and make up. Bury the hatchet. All right, let's see. Chris says, I'm rolling in money since I won the lottery. Great. I'm rolling in it. You can also say, Chris, if you want a totally native, I'm rolling in dough, right? Excellent job. Number 2, could you lend me 5 quids, $5? I'll give it to you, but take note, everybody. 5 quid, $5. Chris says, I feel like $1 million, Chris. Me siento mejor imposible. You know those days where you sleep great, where you're hydrated, where you just feel good? That's when you say, I feel like $1 million. My buddy Mike, sent a shout out to my buddy Mike. When he used to wake up when we would go snowboarding or to the beach or whatever, and he would wake up with a hangover, resaca, he would say, I feel like $10. I used to love it. I'm like, okay, man, I get you. It's not an expression, but I like it. I think it's loud and clear. So wonderful. And then she says, I made up with my cousin Laura. Awesome. It's always good to make up. It's not good to hold a grudge. Guardar rencor, to hold a grudge. It's unhealthy. Not for the person you're holding a grudge against. It's unhealthy for you. Think about it. You know, whatever you think about, you put your energy into, that's you. So if you're holding a grudge, look at the subject of that sentence. You are holding a grudge, right? You are the one with the problem, not the other person. Correct? All right. Wonderful, wonderful job. Let's see. We've got a lot of people participating also in our Say What soundbite. But I wanted to go over those other meanings of makeup really quickly. And the one that's used the least, vais a flipar, es maquillarse. ¿Por qué? Because normally we wouldn't say make yourself up. ¿Cómo se diría? Do your makeup. I did my makeup. We don't normally use, I mean, you could say she made herself up, but it's not, it's at least in the United States, it's much more common to say, who did your makeup? It looks great. I fit. So we use it more like a noun. Now, I promise you, I'm not making this up. Inventarlo. Like Laura showed us, to make up for lost time, right? To make up, to comprise, constituir, formar. The cast, el reparto, was made up of 15 actors. Okay? To be made up of. Okay? We already said hacer las paces. Also, to make it up to somebody. Okay, so I did something wrong. I hurt your feelings. Maybe I said something that was out of line, right? I'm going to maybe I just canceled some plans. It doesn't have to be a big one. So make it, let's see how they translate this one. Make it up to. Aquí está, perfecto. Compensar, to make amends, right? So let me give you the example they've got here on word reference. George wanted to make it up to Andrea for being so bad-tempered towards her earlier. So to make it up to somebody, all right? And any more? Oh, make up your mind, which I believe was in the audio. Make up your mind. And I'm sure there are a couple. Oh, to make up. If we miss the class, if I have to cancel it, if I have to call it off, then we'll make it up next week. And you want to hear something funny? Here's a double trouble for you. We have to make up our makeup class. Did you get it? Wait. We have to. Yeah. Oh, te lo doy como los dos juntos. We have a makeup class. ¿Qué acabo de decir? We have a makeup class. Tenemos una clase de recuperación de maquillaje. And makeup classes, they exist, guys. As many of you know, I studied theater. And I had a makeup class. It was on Fridays. And a lot of times I would have to make it up. And at the end of the semester, since my attendance was subpar, to say the least, well, I made it up to the teacher by bringing her flowers. And she was not impressed. Did you believe that story, guys? Come on. I was just making it up. See, those are just some of the many, many uses of makeup. All right, let's see. We've got some people checking in. Jesus says, morning, everybody on board. Hello, Jesus. Laura says, thank you, teacher. I've missed you guys. We missed you too. The feeling is mutual. I see we've got Chris, Valrol, Elena, and Leo. Wow, 3 amazing students who are participating in our Say What soundbite here, which is great. But the thing is, I want to give it the time it needs. So what we're going to do right now is go to a quick commercial break, amigos. When we come back, we're going to take a look at your observations in today's Say What soundbite. We've also got to hear it for a third time. So we've got our Say What soundbite. Then we are going to look at some homophones. We've got movies. We've got Double Trouble, Name That Lyric, famous birthdays, and so much more. So many challenges up ahead. And the great news is, when this show is over at 12:30, you are in luck. Yeah, it's another way of saying lucky. You are in luck because you've got one of the sweetest, kindest, nicest people teaching you, testing your English. I'm talking about the one and only Ximena Holiday. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know how this works. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to... What? Part 3? Really? Holy shit. Sorry. Pardon my French. Can't believe it. Wow, we've got a lot of stuff to do, amigos. We've got challenges up ahead, such as homophones. We've got our spelling bee. So much to do, amigos. Woo! And don't forget, the best way to warm up for this show every day is tuning in to my buddy Fitz's show. The show is called No Excuses, and it's on Vaughn Radio every day at 9:30. But just like all our other shows, amigos, you can get them wherever you get your podcasts. You've also got my weekly podcast every Friday for your Ingles. You've got courses at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. You've got materials over at vontienda.com. And of course, if you're not following us on social media, you're definitely missing out, amigos. They've been sharing a lot of videos, pronunciation videos, grammar videos. These little things you need to review. It's good to go over them. I mean, sometimes we don't realize how lucky we are. Our parents couldn't learn languages for free. I mean, it wasn't as easy as it is these days. All right, amigos, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name. Homophones, homophones. homophones only. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And here's where I'm going to give you 2 words. And what I want you guys to do is tell me what these words are, A, and B, if they sound exactly the same or not. The first word is a utensil that we use in the kitchen or when we're sitting at the table, and it's cuchara. Okay? It's also cucharada. And we'll look at the different sizes too, okay, when we're doing a recipe or stirring our tea, right? Removiendo el té. Also, it's a position. It means lying together. Hacer la cucharita, acurrucarse, okay, which makes sense, all right? Also, it's part of an idiomatic expression, which would be nacer en cuna de oro, which we'll take a look at the expression. It also means un restaurante de estos grasientos de carretera. Si añadimos la palabra grasienta a esta palabra. So a very rich word, even though you're thinking, what, cuchara? But it's got a lot of other meanings. And the second word is the word formado, okay? Algo que es girado, ¿ok? Sería el participio y el pasado de la palabra girar. And I think you know that from spinning, ¿no? ¿No tenéis algo en el gimnasio que se llama spinning? Right? No es pues esto sería si usas el pasado de ese verbo o el participio. So what are those 2 words? Cuchara and all the other meanings, which we will look at, and the past tense and the past participle of the verb to spin. You spin my head right round when you go downtown. Do you know what they're saying in that song? You spin my head right round. Mi cabeza da vueltas when you go downtown. Do you understand what's going on there? Oral sex. I'm telling you, if you haven't listened to the sex episode of FYI, you're missing out, because I taught that. I think what I used to teach it in the FYI episode was the AC/DC song. Go down, go down, go down. I mean, he really knows what he wants there. And I don't think he's talking about going down to Florida or Georgia or Alabama. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so let me give you also your Say What soundbite. Here it is for the 3rd time.
I didn't make a big deal out of it. I never forget, because I'm a big wuss when it comes down to going to the doctor or anything that has to do with knives. So I was just laying there, and the guy's cutting it, and his assistant goes, well, my wife likes it. Maybe you shouldn't remove it. And it was halfway off. I'm like, stop!
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831 or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. More information at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Also follow us on social media. All right, let's check in with our students who are giving us their take on the Say What soundbite. The first person to participate is Chris Valrol, and she says, I heard a guy who speaks a mile a minute. I could get that he's really proud of something. It's a big deal. He talks about her wife, his wife or her wife. I'm a little, whose wife are we talking about, Chris? Because we haven't mentioned a woman yet. So I'm curious about who the her is. I need a little context there. So he talks about her wife moving. He's pretty overwhelmed. Great job. To speak a mile a minute, to speak really fast. He's proud of something. It's a big deal. Es una gran cosa. And he talks about maybe his wife moving or somebody else's, but I don't know who that her is. And he's pretty overwhelmed. Abrumado. Excellent. Let's see. Elena. Elena says, whoa, this man speaks a mile a minute. I love that you guys use that expression. But what I could make out, great one to make out, descifrar, was an American young man, explaining how things went once at the doctor and being a wuss when he was operated on. Good ear. You got the word wuss. A wuss is nenaza, gallina. Does it sound like another word? Let me give it to you. Don't be a wussy. Don't be a wuss. Don't be a pussy. Pussy is an offensive word, unless you're talking about a cat. So a less offensive way of calling somebody a chicken is a wuss. Ah, come on, don't be a wuss. Don't be a wussy. Great ear, Elena. All right, let's see. Leo says, wow. Oh, today I have to admit that I didn't understand much in the first two listens, but I'm going to keep trying in the next ones. Church ain't out until they quit singing. All right. Reminds me of another expression too. It ain't over. Sería, it isn't, pero se dice con ain't. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. Esto viene de la ópera. Ay, no. Aquí no se ha acabado todavía, ¿eh? Aquí queda partido. All right. Wonderful job, everybody. Thanks for participating. All right. Let's see. A lot of people participating in the homophone section as well. And Elena gives us the words. And those are the correct words, Elena. And she says they aren't homophones. Chris Valrol says they are not homophones. Laura says the words are and they don't sound alike. So 3 amazing students telling me nay. Well, guess what? You're right. I couldn't fool you. Not this time. So the first one, spoon. Spoon man, come together with your hands, save me. I'm together with your plan, Spoon Man. You guys know that song? Oh man, Soundgarden. And you know what? I was at that tour, I was at that concert, and I remember they had the guy in the video. Have you seen the video? There's a guy playing the spoons. Well, that guy was on stage at the concert in New York City. Wow, that was amazing. Spoon Man. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. What a voice. So yes, spoon. And the second word is spun. Spun. Things have spun out of control. Spin, spun, spun. So it's not spoon. And as we said before, spoon has many other meanings. Let's take a look at them. Cuchara, easy. Also, una cucharada. A spoon of sugar or a spoonful. Does that sound familiar? Oh, yes, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Oh, yes, a spoonful. That spoon, that spoon. It's also a classic blues song, Spoonful. I think they're talking about heroin there. So you've also got in the kitchen, you got a soup spoon, you've got a tablespoon, and you've got a teaspoon. The little one is the teaspoon. The tablespoon is the middle one, and the soup spoon is the big, deep one, right? The one that you use when you're eating soup, right? Now, I don't know too much more because it reminds me of Titanic, the movie Titanic. Once we get too many forks and spoons, I don't even know what happens there. Okay, I know a butter knife, a steak knife. Si hablamos de cuchillos, tenemos el de mantequilla, el que no corta, el de pan right there. And then you've got your steak knife, right, which is serrated, like a saw, como una sierra. What else? To spoon with somebody. It's a regular verb. They spooned all morning. They spooned. That means they were on the sofa haciéndose cariñitos because, well, that's what they did. Because last night they ate at a greasy spoon. Un figón. I never heard that one. A cheap restaurant, right? Well, what do you want from these people? They weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouths. Ooh, there's the expression, nacer en cuna de oro. To be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. To be rich, to be born rich, filthy rich, as we said before. So, anything else? Let me see. Oh, to spoon feed somebody. Esta es buenísima. To spoon feed somebody. If you spoon feed somebody, you're giving it to them too easily. You're making it easy. Dárselo en bandeja. You put it on a silver platter for them. Come on, don't spoon feed him. Let him think for himself. To spoon feed. Como, vamos, hable, tú puedes. Right? So there you go, my amigos. Wonderful job. Spoon and spun. Great job. All right, but now we've got to move on to one of the most challenging sections here. It's our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, folks, it's our spelling bee here on the show with no name. Now, this is where we see who's a wuss. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that word. I just wanted to use it in context. Nobody here is a wuss. But this is where we find out who's got what it takes, especially in round one. Is everybody ready? I wonder why I did that. All right, well, I'm going to fly through it over here. And folks, you do not have to capitalize these words. Here we go. The first one is CARBONATED space WATER. The second one is HIGH space FRUCTOSE space CORN space SYRUP. The third one, CARAMEL space COLOR. The fourth one is PHOSPHOREST RIC space ACID. The fifth one is NATURAL space FLAVORS. And the sixth and final one is CAFFEINE. Wow, I'm out of breath. Well, I'll tell you what, while you guys are thinking it through, let me play the teaser, the intro of the upcoming episode of FYI on Trump.
The Democrats say, please don't call them animals. They're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. Nancy Pelosi told me that. She said, please don't use the word animals when you're talking about these people. I said, I'll use the word animal because that's what they are.
This lively loudmouth is loved by many and loathed by lots of others who suffer from TDS. When he's perched upon the pulpit preaching his populism, he polarizes people all over the place, from Alabama to Almanza. But one thing is for sure, the mainstream media mentions him almost daily due to his sassy sound bites and his often controversial takes.
You are fake news.
He's a boisterous businessman, pesky politician, and a raucous reality TV star to boot. We'll take a look at Donald Trump on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
En inglés.
You got it. Don't forget, folks, every Friday you got a different topic. Otro tema de actualidad. And what's more current event than, Donald Trump? He's in the media. And since the guy's been involved in a lot of different businesses, you'll see in the episodes, we talk about everything from beauty pageants to universities to bankruptcies, bancarrota, and all that jazz. Let's put it this way. I think this is the one way to sum it up. Like him or hate him, it's going to be an interesting episode. Trust me. All right, let's see if anybody got these spelling bee words on the first go. The first person to participate is Born to Iron Man. Let's see how he did. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct. So far, so good. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is incorrect. Ooh, man. Oh, we were on a roll there. Estábamos en racha. All right, don't worry. Laura's coming in here. She said, I'm fast, but I think I've got it. Well, she didn't say that, but I'm I'm putting myself in her shoes. Let's see. Laura, the first one is correct. This would be a triumphant return here. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one's correct. And also the sixth one. Wow. The Empire Strikes Back, El Imperio Contraataca. Laura strikes back. Wow. What a triumphant return, Laura. Wonderful. Also, Chris Valrol, you got them as well. Wow, perfect. Ladies, wow. I don't even know if I could get those perfectly if I had to. Maybe not on the first go. That's why it's good. It's a good thing you get the second go over here. Segundo intento. Guys, have a soda. Tómate un refresco. Oh, so I guess this has something to do with soda, huh? Or soft drinks. You call them refrescos. We call them soft drinks. All right, well, let's go into round 2 of today's spelling bee. Good luck to the rest of you. The first one is CARBON A-T-E-D space W-A-T-E-R. The second one is H-I-G-H space F-R-U-C-T-O-S-E space C-O-R-N space S-Y-R-U-P. The third one is C-A-R-A-M-E-L space C-O-L-O-R. The fourth one is P-H-O-S-P-H-O-R-I-C space A-C-I-D. Let me give you that one again. The fourth one is P-H-O-S-P-H-O-R-I-C space A-C-I-D. See, to err is human. Cometer errores es humano, even if you're a native speaker. The fifth one, N-A-T-U-R-A-L space F-L-A-V-O-R-S. And the last one is C-A-F-F-E-I-N-E. All right. So why did we choose the recipe for Coca-Cola? La receta. Well, not the original recipe. Remember, the original recipe had a lot of kick. Tenía mucho punch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So today, in the year 1886, a pharmacist named John Pemberton first sold a carbonated beverage named Coca-Cola. It was sold as a tonic or a medicine to cure everything. It was literally a cure-all. And fascinating history, whether you drink soft drinks or not, really interesting history behind Coca-Cola, and not just Coca-Cola, behind what is called the Cola Wars. It's true. It's a real thing, and billions are spent on it every year. The Cola Wars. If you haven't heard it, there's an FYI episode on the Cola Wars. Fascinating if you're into marketing, strategy, advertising. Very, very interesting. I don't drink much as far as soft drinks is concerned, but I do love the story behind Coca-Cola. Well, it was founded by a pharmacist. My grandpa was a pharmacist, and I've been to the Coca-Cola Museum, the World of Coca-Cola in Atlanta, and I gotta be honest, even though it's one big advertisement for Coca-Cola, it's pretty damn cool. I still remember going there with my grandma and grandpa. Oh yeah, I was high, colocado. No, not on drugs. Well, if you consider sugar and caffeine drugs, then I was high as a kite. Colocadísimo. My poor grandma. My sister and I were running around like monkeys. Guys, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, so stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. I can't believe we are in the fourth and final part of today's show with No Name. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning, and I hope you'll stay tuned. We've got a wonderful class up next, full of challenges where you can really test your English. Join my great friend Jimena Holiday and Nacho. So many great programs here on Vaughn Radio. And all you have to do is download the free Vaughn Radio app. Also, don't forget, if you're thinking about signing the kids up for summer camps, urban camps, or yourself, well, now's the time, folks. Spots are filling up quickly. Don't sleep on it. We say, no te duermes en ello, como, no esperes. Don't sleep on it, amigos. Go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. And you can find out more about special deals, materials, upcoming events, everything that's going on in the Vaughn world, amigos. And thank you. Thanks again for learning English with us here at Vaughn Radio. It's a pleasure to have you on board, as always. All right, folks, time for Double Trouble. Double Trouble. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double Trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. All right, folks, it is Double Trouble here on the show with no name, and let's see what we've got for today's Double Trouble. All right, as I said earlier in the show, I think it's going to be an easy one, but we'll see. Here it is. El infiltrado tiene un lunar en la frente. El infiltrado tiene un lunar, una mancha en la frente. Okay? So, espía, topo, infiltrado. La espía, el topo, el infiltrado tiene un lunar o una mancha en la frente. There's your double trouble. I'll give you a little bit to think about it while I give you your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
I didn't make a big deal out of it. I never forget, because I'm a big wuss when it comes down to going to the doctor or anything that has to do with knives. So I was just laying there and the guy's cutting it. And his assistant goes, well, my wife likes it. Maybe you shouldn't remove it. And it was halfway off. I'm like, stop!
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. More information about Weekend Town, Vaughn Town, and all our towns over at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. All right, let's go on over to our chat room. I've got a lot of people participating in our Double Trouble. There's Gerard Gonzalez, Gerard, and he says, hi, Alberto. I've been listening to you for 12 years now. Wow. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you. I don't even think my wife's been listening to me for 12 years. And I don't mean on the radio. I mean like talk. Wow. You just made my day. Thank you so much, Gerard. Just awesome. And he says, thank you for teaching us every day. It's Gerardo from Argentina. Thank you for making my day. And you're an early bird, buddy. The early bird gets the worm, amigos. Not because I say so, because that's the way it goes. Speaking of early birds, the first person to participate in our Double Trouble is Laura. Wow, she really is back with a vengeance. Como la segunda Die Hard, Jungla de Cristal. Back, Die Hard with a vengeance. Se llama Die Hard with a vengeance, con venganza. O sea, he vuelto, pero con venganza, para cargarme a todos. And Laura, she says, the mole has a mole on his forehead. Yes! Famous people with a mole. Let me think. The first person that comes to mind, Marilyn Monroe, which, by the way, we have an FYI episode on Marilyn Monroe. Another one that comes to mind, Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford, she had a mole as well. Did Madonna, or am I making that up? Enrique Iglesias had one, but now he doesn't. So I guess he had it surgically removed. But there's a very funny scene. I think it's in, if I'm not mistaken, the second Austin Powers movie, where the guy from The Wonder Years, Aquellos Maravillosos Años, Fred Savage, comes in and he's got a mole on his face. And what happens is Dr. Evil or Austin Powers, I can't remember, one of Mike Myers' many characters, started saying, mole, guacamole, mole, home. And he's trying to ignore it, but he can't. No sé. It's a very funny scene if you want to watch it in context. So let's see. Great job, Laura. The mole has a mole on his forehead. Also, Elena got it, and Chris. And also, we've got Elena taking a stab at our Say What soundbite. Excellent, Elena. It looks pretty spot on. Pretty spot on over there. Wonderful job. Excellent. And also, let's take a look at our spelling bee really quickly. Just go over the words. The first one, carbonated water. This is the reason that your soft drinks taste different here than in the United States, or in New York than in California, because they ship the syrup and then they're bottled at bottling plants. Makes sense, right? So the carbonated water is kind of the thing that is, the basis of it. Later, you mix everything into it. And that's why it's the same reason I don't like to drink draft beer. I don't like to drink soda from a soda fountain, as we call it. Why? Well, the mix isn't always right. Sometimes there's too much carbonation. There isn't enough carbonation, or it's too sweet, or whatever, So I'm a big fan of ordering things in a bottle, right? Beer in a bottle or a can, and then I know it's going to taste roughly the same, right? Más o menos lo mismo. So carbonated water, that's the basis of everything. Then you've got something that I don't think you guys use here. You guys can either confirm or deny this. High fructose corn syrup. Do you guys use that? High fructose corn syrup? It's poison. I mean, I don't even, you don't even have to be an expert to know that is not good. I mean, I think you're better off eating refined white sugar. Effects. Insulin, great. Insulin resistance, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Yeah, all right. Sounds great. Sounds wonderful. The next one, caramel color, el color caramelo. The next one, phosphoric acid. Well, as far as I know, doesn't acid corrode metal? So what do you think it does to the inside of your stomach? Well, guys, as I said, I'm somebody who used to drink a lot of soft drinks. And now I realized I'm not doing myself any favors. Drink water. The fifth one, natural flavors. And as far as I know, they include a lot of crap under the category of natural flavors. I'm not saying Coca-Cola. I'm saying everybody who puts natural flavors. Oh, really? And the last one, and this is like, I never understood this, soda without caffeine. Like, okay, if it's Sprite and it doesn't have caffeine in it, fine, great. But soda without caffeine that usually has caffeine? I mean, sometimes the only time I'll have a Coca-Cola is when I've had too much coffee and I need some more caffeine to get through the day. You know, when you hit one of those walls and you're like, oh man, I can't go on. So if you haven't listened to those episodes, very, very interesting. You can find them wherever you listen to your Vaughn podcasts, and they're on the Cola Wars. All right, let's move on, amigos. Right now, it's time for famous birthday trivia.
1, 2, 3. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, amigos. Here we go with today's famous birthday trivia. And today in 1953, this Dutch-American drummer was born. Well, there you got a clue already. 2 clues. The person's a drummer, bateria as you call him, and he's Dutch and American. So of Dutch ancestry. All right. I could tell you his band name, but I'm not going to. Why? Because it's his last name. The band's name is his last name. So I can't tell you the name of the band. Do you want me to give you some songs? And I can give you another clue. His brother was, because he passed away, the guitarist in this band. And he also obviously shares the same last name. So a drummer and a guitarist who formed a band using their last name. What kind of music is it? All right. Hard rock, guitar rock. In fact, this guy's brother, the guy who passed away, his late brother, difunto, we say, considered by many one of the greatest guitarists ever. So that's that right there. Some of their songs, let's see. Might as well jump, jump. Go ahead and jump, jump. Also, Right Now. I love that one. That's a more modern one, Right Now. The Best of Both Worlds. You've got also, what's another one? Love Comes Walking In. That's a beautiful, beautiful song. And I mean, this group, it's interesting because they've gone through many, many lead singers. They started out with David Lee Roth, and they were huge with David Lee Roth. And then there were differences, artistic differences, and they got a new lead singer, Sammy Hagar, and that went really well too. And well, the thing is, it seems like whoever you put these brothers with, they're going to kick ass. It doesn't matter who their lead singer is. And I was lucky enough, and I'll never forget it, because I peed in a Gatorade bottle. See, sometimes you remember those things. What? Well, we were in my friend's car. We were sitting in traffic, and I think it was on the BQE, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. And we were going to Jones Beach. Jones Beach is a place where they have concerts in the United States. And as the name implies, it's on the beach. It's actually really cool. If you want to Google it, if you're near a computer, Google Jones Beach, New York, and you can see the stage. The stage is on the water. So it's a really, really cool venue to see a concert. And I got to see this group because they were standing on top of the world, standing on top of the world. And this band really believed that you can have the best of Both worlds. Tener lo mejor de cada situación. The best of both worlds. They are one of the best-selling artists in the United States, having sold over 56 million albums in the U.S. and 80 million worldwide, making them one of the best-selling groups of all time. Number 2, this guy was born in 1926, an American comedian and actor. The first time I saw this guy, or at least remembered seeing him, was in the movie Casino, the Martin Scorsese movie Casino, with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. But he was also in Kelly's Heroes, and he even had his own show on TV. And he was very well known for performing at Las Vegas hotel casinos. So I guess it makes sense that he was in the movie Casino. He was actually like an associate member of the Rat Pack, because him and Frank Sinatra were best buds, colegas. And so he got a lot of exposure. He was on a lot of different shows with his comedy, and he even did voice work. Have you guys seen Toy Story? Any of the Toy Story movies? Do you know Mr. Potato Head? Have you seen him in English, Mr. Potato Head? That's him. That's his voice. So an extremely talented performer. And last but not least, this guy's talented. There's no doubt about it. Although his performing has been held in question, because some people, there are some videos going around the internet that supposedly, I'll say supposedly, show this man lip syncing. He is a Spanish-American singer-songwriter. His father was is a famous singer, and their last name is Churches. And that's funny. Leo, you said the word church before. Chris also adds some other people with moles here. Blake Lively, Rachel McAdams, Eva Mendes. Absolutely wonderful, Chris. I knew I could count on you. All right. So does anybody know who our 3 birthday boys and girls are? Gerard, you're telling me the name of the group, and I guess that's a start, but I'm looking for the guy's name. What's the drummer's name? Solo te falta su nombre. Then I'll know if you're a real fan or not. I think, obviously, they're both very famous. Their last name is a household name, but I think the most famous one by far is the guitarist. And now that he died, well, he will live on forever, his guitar playing. All right, let's see. Chris Val roll. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Happy birthday to Alex Van Halen. So yes, the drummer is Alex Van Halen. Yes, what a great fan I am. And the guitarist is Eddie Van Halen. So happy birthday to Alex Van Halen. Y fijaos, no es Van Halen. We say Van Halen in English. Number 2, Don Rickles. It rhymes with pickles. And last but not least, Enrique Iglesias. And that's going to bring us right up to our Say What soundbite. This is Enrique Iglesias talking about having his mole removed. I tried to give you a clue. Yeah, this is Enrique Iglesias. And he says, I didn't make a big deal out of it. No quise hacer gran cosa de ello. Because I'm a big wuss. Soy un gran llorón when it comes down to going to the doctor. Or has anything to do with knives. Cuando tiene que ver con ir al médico o si tiene que ver con cuchillos. So I was just laying there, así que ahí estaba tumbado, and the guy's cutting it, y el cirujano, el médico, empieza a cortarlo. He's talking about his mole, su mancha, and his assistant goes, que es dice, his assistant goes, well, my wife likes it. Pues a mi mujer le encanta tu peca, tu. And maybe you shouldn't remove it. So he made him second guess himself at the last minute. And it was halfway off. Y ya estaba medio quitado. And he said, I'm like, stop. So in this, not only do we hear Enrique Iglesias expressed himself very quickly, by the way, as you said, but also he's telling us two different ways to say dijo or dije. The assistant goes instead of says, and I'm like, I said. So excellent job to all my amigos. Right now it's time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric here on the show with no name. And wonderful job once again, guys. You are awesome and you kicked ass as you always do. Keep it up. I can tell Ximena, I can tell her with certainty that you guys are warmed up and ready to go and ready to face any challenge she might throw your way on Test Your English. We're going to wrap up with an awesome song that when I was listening to it this morning, as I was preparing everything, I literally stood up in my seat. I raised my fist, mi puño, and I just started to rock and roll. You guys can Google the song with me and we can sing it together. It's called Unchained. Unchained, desencadenado, same word there. Unchained, and it's Van Halen. There you go, folks. Unchained by Van Halen. And let's listen to the lyrics here. I'll go through them with you, and then we can sing it together as we raise our fists. And he goes, all right. Ha-ha. Now, again, depending on which Van Halen, I see some of you saying you like Van Halen or you don't like Van Halen. Which one? There's different, that's what I mean. That's the group has evolved in things. It's interesting. So either way, he says, all right, how? I think that's in all their songs there. He says, you say, I cannot get there from here, baby. Tú dices que ahí no llego desde aquí, cariño. And then I don't care where I'm going. Y después me da igual donde voy. Here's to your thin red line. Aquí tienes para tus límites, tus barreras. Here's to es un brindis para, right? Here's to lo que sea, okay? And then he says, I'm stepping over. To step over es pisarlo, cruzarlo. I'm stepping over. I thought you'd never miss me. Pensaba que nunca me ibas a echar de menos till I got a fat city address. Now, ¿qué quiere decir ahí? No quiere decir gordo, pero como es un pez gordo, que ahora no vive en el pueblo, pero es un tío rico que vive en la ciudad, que tengo una dirección en la ciudad. I'm a non-stop talker. No dejo de hablar. What a rocker. Vaya rockero. A blue-eyed murderer. Now he's saying una asesina con ojos azules in a size 5 dress. En un vestido de talla 5. Change nothing, stays the same. Unchained, and you hit the ground running. And we'll end with that idiomatic expression. To hit the ground running is what you guys do every day. You don't come here and warm up. You start off in full. You start out in 5th gear to hit the ground running. Piénsalo. Naces y directamente empiezas a correr. So excellent job, amigos. Keep it up. And thank you once again. Let's rock out. Wow. Every Van Halen song. Yeah. Wow. Just do that if you can't follow the lyrics. Thank you, and ciao for now. Wow. Do it. Wow. I can't hear you. Wow. There it is.